Tonight, 300,000 people in West Virginia are being told to stay away from their tap water.
A state of emergency has been declared in West Virginia in the USA after a chemical leak into a river.
It leaked into the Elk River, supplying water to the entire region. At first, the water company thought the treatment plant could filter it out, but then learned it hadn't.
The state has ordered the company believed to be responsible for this chemical spill to cease and desist and to inspect all its tanks.
The source of the problem that's closed restaurants and schools is 4-methylcyclohexane methanol, a chemical that's used in coal processing.
It's extremely out of the ordinary. A lot of people describe it as licorice, but it's this sweet type of smell.
Crowds filled stores in West Virginia Thursday night, stocking up on everything from water to ice.
Something else to keep in mind here is that some of the symptoms that are involved in this, or that authorities are warning residents of, is burning throat, itching hands and arms and skin, and a lot of other symptoms that are just really scary to begin with.
Authorities say it's unclear when they'll be able to lift the do not drink ban or when the water will be safe to use.
If it would have been inspected, I guess 23, 26 years it hasn't been inspected, so if it had been certified every year like they're supposed to do, then we could have avoided this whole situation.
The water is out. There is no water. Do not use your water.
I was live on the air when the governor's first tweet went out basically announcing that this had happened.
The first 3 days after the spill, people were coming to work unshowered.
When I first found out about the water leak, I was actually in Ripley working for the day, and it was on Twitter. I'd just checked briefly, and there was a proclamation from Governor Tomblin that said, do not use the water in Charleston. And that was really kind of the gist of it. I didn't know what else to expect, and I was just looking for more answers, as everybody was, I'm sure, but it was just kind of a panic thing.
And at first, we didn't really know what that meant. I was on the set, I was anchoring, as I said, and so I immediately sent a note to our assignment editor and said, check into this, let's see what this is. And finished anchoring the rest of that segment of the newscast. During the commercial break, came out, checked in, we'd gotten a little more information. We'd confirmed that yes, this came from the governor's office and it is a do not use order.
It's pretty hard to live long in West Virginia and not appreciate how much it rains. and so water is a prevalent feature in the state of West Virginia. And certainly some of its most remarkable places are its rivers. When we think about places like the New River or the Golly River or the Cranberry River. Then when we couple that with some of the major river systems like the Monongahela River and the Kanawha River, places where historic conduits of coal and steel and major economic drivers in terms of industry development along the canal. So rivers are a huge, huge component of the West Virginia landscape.
There are so many different groups who concern themselves with water. They don't all agree on how you look at water quality. When the crisis happened in Flint, Michigan, it was tragic, but it also confirmed for us what we were really seeing, even just trying to investigate issues of looking at water quality in this state. So it's been a real eye-opener. But it also really points the way to the power of some of these emerging technologies, potentially, maybe not now, but in the future, and of community engagement and being part of how we look at water quality and security in our communities.
Most people don't think about the importance of rivers and the water in rivers for power production. We typically think, the first thing people think about is hydropower, so a dam and the Hoover Dam producing electricity. But there's a reason, there's more than one reason at least, why there are so many electrical power producing facilities in West Virginia.
Your gut check when the systems that you rely on every day fail is panic, because you have to take care of that basic need first. And I think that with the advent of everyone having a voice to express anything that they want at any time, you get a lot of misinformation with that panic.
It was clear almost immediately that no one was prepared for something like that to happen. Of course, we found out later, as time went on, in the coming days and weeks, what regulations did or didn't exist, what types of enforcement of the existing regulations were even being enforced.
Something as essential as water. Know what's going into the water. Know how your water is processed. Understand what potential hazards there are along the waterways which feed your particular system. People didn't know. And they couldn't or didn't feel like they could trust those in positions of authority to tell them accurately what those things were.